Nice. Nice. We're all here? Get the show on the road?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no, we're not all here.
Everyone but one.
Just cry about it.
Aside from Alec, okay? Aside from Alec.
We swapped Alec out for Cop this campaign.
¿Por qué no los dos? Come on. He'll arrive in due time. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. Everyone have your sheets good to go? Any last questions, comments, concerns? Don't talk to me about survival, right? No, that's not a valid concern. The HR department has heard your concerns about your own survival and decided that you are fine. Stop crying about it.
Don't think so.
Nah, we're good.
Yeah.
So,
because that's the narrative I'm going with.
there will be a bit of a different shift in this campaign start, rather. In that I will actually allow you guys just to drop your tokens as you're describing them. And
shit.
I
The one time Kirsty goes like well out of her way to like get a little thing set up ahead of time.
Drop the fucking potty bath because it's.
I'm so sorry, Kirsty, but it's fucking hilarious.
You don't have to. I'm saying you're allowed to. I'm not saying you have to.
I'm gonna do.
Never let them know your next move. Always keep them guessing. Am I right?
That's fucking hilarious.
God. That's the long con.
She's so distraught.
She's fallen into despair.
We haven't started yet, and already I'm like, oh
my god!
The best part is you're the first one, so you could like roll it into it. Yep.
Imagine if you forgot to mention that.
I'm just staring up at my roof, just like why like this?
Bruh.
Okay.
Here's what you do: is you don't do that. You just read the paragraph anyways, and you get maximum benefit out of it. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah,
Easy.
and you guys can get fucked. Right.
Yeah, that's fair. So, before we jump into your characters and the stint that they're currently in, we turn our gaze elsewhere. Tucked away in a tranquil wasteland under a blank, dark night, there sits a bright fire whose light cascades into the darkness all around. 4 figures are sat around the fire in a nice, settled quiet, each of them performing their own idling tasks and practices. The silence is broken as one figure sighs loudly, frustratedly. That was a bust. And I'd be lying if I said I wasn't disappointed. Sorry about that. Hey, don't say I didn't warn you, though. The 2 others, content in their silence, look at each other, staring, sharing a tacit conversation unsaid, before looking back to their respective compatriots. The first figure continues. You did. I was just hoping for something more, I don't know, decisive. Don't suppose your wisdom has an idea of what to do next. The figure that responded before stops and tilts his head in contemplation. The bright light from the fire illuminating, ever so barely, his pursed form. That poignant pause takes hold for several moments before he finally does continue. How about a story? Something to welcome in the evening? To get your mind inspired for tomorrow after some rest? Hearing this account, one of the other silent duo finally speaks up in a very blasé and unenthused manner. Always looking for an excuse to tell tall tales, are you? The second figure brings a hand to his chest, flourishing the motion, flaunting the display. You wound me, old friend! I'll have you know that this story is most certainly not a tall tale. It's a historic chronicle, a saga. He whips his head back to the first figure, foe hysterically. Surely you two in your homelands find virtue in stories, yes? Yes? The first figure holds back a giggle, smirking all the while. I don't know of any land that doesn't value their roadside stories. So long as it's a good one, I'm all ears. They all turn to the last person, the last of the silent speakers, who simply nods once. Seeing his acceptance and the general acceptance of all others gathered, the second figure stands up abruptly, clapping his hands together and rubbing them sportively. Excellent. And don't you worry, it's a good one. It's a bit long, though. It all starts with this little old town people called Velcaster. So, my friends, let's talk about what happened when you went to go follow after that lovely, lovely, mysterious lady. When you all, by yourselves, by your lonesomes, or with a companion, pursue after this mysterious woman, you follow her down into the basements of the Blazing Beacon. Down a set of stairs, down a cobbled hallway underground, through an open doorway, which leads even further down, yet another staircase that leads into the depths. You follow it down a short ways and come across what looks to be some sort of cellar, with her stood up front of the opposite wall, staring at it, arms crossed, one hand tucked under her chinny chin. As you move to go speak to her, you hear the sounds of something to your left. The sounds of something blazing, something burning, something sizzling. Turning to look at the source of the noise, you see a bright red light, which promptly flashes you, engulfing you, blinding you, and knocking you out of your senses. Allow me to show you all what the full image is of Our Lady. Oh wait, I can just post her roll 20, of course. There you are. This is your mysterious woman. So, let's change the music. So soon. Let's go over something a bit more calm.
Excuse me.
This is a very quiet song, so I do recommend you guys turn it up. Coming to Roma, you are sat in the Blazing Beacon, alone, in the front barroom area. When we behold you, us as players, what do we see?
Okay. So, I'm just going to straight up post a picture because I'm now going to describe it if that is acceptable.
Your call. Your call.
That is tiny. Can we make it?
Yeah, you guys can make it bigger. Only I can.
Oh, okay, yeah. That is Miguel. So this is Roma. So first thing a person may notice when looking at this woman would be the way she almost glides when she walks, although she's not walking at this point, but you know. She has a She has a long dark grey cloak that she has pulled back over her arms as she walks through. Her appearance underneath the cloak shows that while her clothes are well coordinated, they are not exactly new or well made. Her statement earrings she wears are obviously trying to pass as red jewels, but to the more discernible eye can be seen to be glass. Her blue overcoat shows signs of wear, but is well taken care of. The same can be said for her shirt, with its elegant sleeves that she seems to like, given the way that she sort of subconsciously holds herself. You know, that kind of swishing thing people do when they think they've got something fancy on. It's kind of what she's doing with that. Let me see. So, as she looks around the room, she pulls down the cloth mask down from over her mouth and nose, and shows a relaxed smile as she scans the room. Her eyes are a dark amber and appeared relaxed as well. Her hair sits just above her shoulder height and would appear to be black if it wasn't for the red highlights showing up in the light. She has various gold hoops lining her ears along with her larger earrings, and her fingers are covered with little small rings as well. Some being coloured gold, some black, some, silver.
You are a thief's favorite target, surely. Lots of little trinkets, odds, and ends.
Mm-hmm.
Gliding you shan't be, as
No,
you're
not in this
sat here
instant.
alone. It is silent here in the Blazing Beacon. Not a soul around. In fact, you don't even hear anyone or anything outside. A very stark contrast to the chaos that was outside.
Mhm.
Fires, gunshots, buildings burning out in the distance. It all seems to have gone away, replaced by a nice, settled silence. Looking around the bar establishment, all the chairs are pushed ever so prim and properly in their places, tucked against the bar, underneath the tables. Looking at the bar itself, there are many bottles of alcohol, all of them pristine, never tapped, uncorked. The other thing that catches your attention is how warm it is right now. Not overbearingly so, like a desert hot day, but there's this sort of warm and humid climate around you, making your clothes cling to you. Can you roll me two things? Roll me a stealth and roll me a perception.
Okay, so stealth. That's very poor considering.
Starting strong.
And perception, yeah?
Correct. I say.
Oh, this really sets the tone, doesn't it?
Oh, Kirsty.
Looking all around, getting up from the chair quietly, making just a hint of sound as the wood scrapes against the wooden flooring. You look around, seeing if anything might have heard the noise you just made, and there is nothing but silence. You are alone. What do you do?
Well, I imagine that little relaxed face you had on earlier probably just goes blank. If there's nobody around, if she goes, is there like window? I'm assuming there's like windows and doors and shit. Can she have like a peek outside and see what's going on?
You go over to a window nearby, peeking out from behind its shutters, and you see Velcaster, but not the Velcaster you last saw. This Velcaster is intact. No burning buildings or anything of the sort. No chaos or ruin or devastation from all the more recent riots and quarantines. The last Velcaster you saw was blanketed by orange spores. This one, fortunately, is not so. Instead of orange, it is blanketed in red. A red that makes you wonder if you're just suddenly furious, but looking inside the establishment, you know that the source of the light is out there and not inside your mind. Looking out on the streets, they aren't empty. You see figures popping in and out from around corners into doorways. But as you squint your eyes and look at them, you realize that they're not all there. The details on them can't be properly made out. Silhouettes more than actual visages of people. Then one of them catches your eye as he disappears mid-stride and then reappears several feet further down the road. Thinking back to your own upbringing, all the stories you've heard from travelers and things of the sort. A city of ghosts. Or what you hope are ghosts.
Shouldn't happen to know of any of those particular cities of ghosts that have actual people in them, right? Like, what happens? She's not going to suddenly disintegrate or something, is she?
As far as you know, no. Well, moreover, as far as you know, there's not exactly an account for a city of ghosts. You know the concept of ghosts, and you know you're in a city. So therefore, a city of ghosts.
Well, yeah. Okay. I kind of want to go outside, but also you said there was like spores, but red, right, outside.
No spores, not here.
None at all. Okay. What was the red description though? Sorry, I must have misheard.
A red light blankets across the landscape.
Ah, okay.
The spores are the Vilcaster you know. This is the Vilcaster you don't know.
Okay. Is she able to have a quick look behind the bar and see if there's any like personal effects or whatever from the people that might have lived here previously?
You look behind the bar, walking over, opening up the trap hatch that leads to the behind area. Looking around, you find a ledger, but no personal effects.
Does the ledger have a date on it?
What languages do you speak?
Common and Venatori.
Ventorian.
Ventorian.
Venatori is a fucking Star Wars destroyer.
Yeah. I'm just gonna quickly add the Anna there.
I love the dramatic voice saying it's a fucking Star Wars destroyer.
Star Wars destroyer.
Ventorian.
Okay.
Paging through this ledger, you can't read any of it.
Okay. I suppose with that then, I think she's just gonna hit the fuck it button. She'll pull her mask up over her nose and mouth, I guess. And then she'll put like the cloak back over herself and she'll try and open the front door.
It opens, unlocked.
If she sticks her hand out, doesn't suddenly go transparent or anything, does it?
Nope.
If she walks out entirely? She'll just sort of like slowly like move herself out the door.
You begin leaning and peeking out of the door, awaiting what happens when you inevitably meet the red light. As you do so, nothing happens.
If she looks, is she able to see like the city line or any sort of landscapes that's around? Does it appear the same as it would, obviously, that she's used to? Like, for instance, there's like mountains in the area that she can see. Do they look similar?
Looking out beyond the edges of the city limit, expecting to see nearby forestry and hills, you do not see anything. Instead, you see a wall of red.
Okay. Like, sort of yeah, sort of like surrounding the whole town, almost like they're in a, I don't know, encased, I guess.
Something of the sort.
Mhm. Okay. As she walks through, is she able to grab the attention of like any of the people who are walking through, or are they just like completely just not on the same kind of plane of existence as her?
Do you?
Yeah, I think so. She'll
What
maybe
do you
like, try and
say?
wave her hand. Um, she'll probably just sort of walk up to one that's maybe coming towards her. Hello? Anybody? You there?
As you hold up your hand and try to get the attention, speaking towards the shadowy figure which you could see through, they walk right through you. As they do so, you get this feeling of dread. Snake from their impact point outward.
Well, yeah, she'll give like a really sort of horrible shudder at that one, I guess. Vow not to repeat that one.
It's a sensation you're relatively familiar with. A sensation that you've gotten when trespassing.
Okay.
A I shouldn't be here feeling.
Okay. All the people that are sort of milling about, does it look like they're just sort of going about their day-to-day activities then?
Roll insight.
Insight, where are you? Oh, I wish I was trained in you. Yeah, no.
Looking at the few figures that dot across the street up and down it, it does seem like they're doing their day-to-day business. Going home, going shopping, getting drinks, going to work.
Okay. What about the sort of other buildings around the area? Are they like other businesses or homes or
Other businesses.
businesses?
Many of them have their residential sections on their upper floors.
Okay. Is she able to go up to maybe like just the one that's like directly across or something? And see if she can enter, I guess.
You go over. The door is unlocked.
Cool. Could she peek her head up?
You open up the door and peek your head inside, seeing what looks to have been a bakery. But there's no bread.
Is there nothing edible like at all?
No, there's nothing at all. Thinking on it now, you begin to realize your kid is gone, your food is gone, your weapons are gone. You're walking light, very light.
Ah, yes, I see now why we clean the equipment. Okay. Well, with that lovely thought going on her, if she goes back outside quickly, the big sort of red wall, quote unquote, does there appear to be anywhere that looks like it could be like that's different? Like maybe it might be lighter in color, darker. There's like some sort of entrance space that she can maybe get out of.
Looking at the walls themselves, there's nothing that betrays their integrity. They seem rather uniform. But one thing does catch your eye, though. You look up.
Mhm.
Above you right now, as you scan across the walls that surround the city, these walls of red, you find the source of the red light. You see a star above you, some hundreds of feet up, shouting out a red light.
Okay. I'm not entirely sure like how to okay. I guess with that then, so this thing's like in the ceiling sort of thing, quote unquote.
What ceiling?
Okay, like the endless sort of just above. Okay, and there's no way that she'd be able to go up there at all. I would just assume 'cause it's like the night sky, I guess.
Just a sky of red.
Okay. Right. Okay. Looking about, I want to try and get like a. Is there? If she goes back and. Yeah. Does she remember where there's anywhere in the city that might have like a good viewpoint where she'd be able to get a good look at the city, or anywhere that's like a wall or a tall tower or just like a town square or something?